We have today with us Jason Haley, contemporary American artist. I give you a little, again, reintroduction, as a lot of people who are watching this film today do not know. When I have met Jason for the first time, I looked in his eyes while he was talking, and something struck me about him. And I asked him, Jason, when he was talking about his art, and he showed me some of his pieces, and I asked him, Jason, when is your birthday? In my mind, immediately two numbers have flashed. 5/11. Jason's reply was 5/11. I'm not psychic. I'm not some schlemazel Michiganer who reads the universe, but it was for a reason why I had these two numbers, because his work, although not as precise, minutely figurative, more abstract, more metaphysical, but more metaformal. In other words, it's not completed form. It's a process of creation somewhere in the middle of creation. But very similar to the guy who was born on the 5/11, the great star of the last century, Salvador Dali. Jason is...
He was born too? 5/11?
5/11, that's what I'm saying now. That's what I exactly was trying to say. So I was joking with Jason. I said, Jason, and then before I was joking, I asked Jason, and who's your favorite artist? And before he replied, I already had an answer in my head. He would say, I like Salvador Dali. And he said, I like actually Salvador Dali. You know, in America we pronounce Dali, but Dali was emphatic about that emphasis on his last letter, I. So this is how he signed his name, Dali. So Jason said it correctly. I'm not some Hinduist, Krishnaite, Vishnaite. I'm not into reincarnation, but I do believe, of course, all these things. The spirit of a man is not disappearing. And it's possible that there is some kind of a metaphysical connection between Jason and Salvador. Now, remarkable is, of course, we already had presentation that Jason, you want to say a couple of words about what inspires you to paint, and what inspires you to be an artist and to create art? What is the source of your inspiration?
The majority of my work is inspired by my own internal struggles. I'm bipolar and have PTSD, and my art is a reflection of my struggles, and it's meant to capture all of the emotions. That is the most important part of any work that I do, is capturing the emotion in the painting.
That's awesome, quite striking reply. I would expect that confession. Would you like to tell us something about your creative process? How do you create? I mean, what's your process?
My creative process is typically before I go into a painting, I'll meditate. I'll put on my favorite music, and I believe I've mentioned it before to you that I use the same method that Dali used, the paranoid critic method.
Oh, bravissimo.
No, I use my interpretation of it.
Paranoid critical method of Salvador Dali, Jason also using. That's remarkable, remarkable. What a striking connection between two of you guys. Striking. So what exactly critical paranoid method? Tell us, re-emphasize one more time so everybody will bring it home, that knowledge.
I'll have an idea of what the image is, and then I'll work through it on the canvas or on any medium that I'm using, and constantly change it as I see different changes in my mind through the patterns, the textures on the canvas, or whatever medium I'm using.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It's very interesting.
Thank you.
And that process is involving your whole nature within. After you have created something, do you go to sleep? What do you do?
Sometimes I'll think about the next image that I'm going to be working on. Sometimes I'll even start another painting as soon as I finish one, if I still feel that creative power within me.
Do you work sometimes on several pieces?
Several pieces.
Several pieces.
The most I've ever done is 5 pieces at the same time going.
Beautiful. And the process is so engulfing that you sometimes losing sense of reality, am I right?
Lose everything into the art.
I would deduce. So, and then when you wake up next, well, do you paint in the daytime or at night or any time?
Typically in the morning, but any time that the inspiration is there for me.
In the morning.
Typically.
Oh, so and then you go for a walk. You have your cup of tea. You
Have my tea and start my day.
You have your lunch.
Sometimes I'll go without eating if I'm painting, just because I get so enthralled into the art that time seems to fly as I'm painting.
Wow. And then when you wake up the following morning after this day of creation, looking at what you've created, what do you think?
Sometimes I see tweaks that I can make and continue to work on it, or sometimes I'm satisfied and I know that it's complete.
So you're not always liking what you've created.
Sometimes I see other
Do you
things in
get
the painting.
sometimes, and they get sometimes this feeling, was it me who have created that?
Sometimes I think, what was I thinking as I created that, or where was I trying to go with it? What was the purpose for what I did? And then I'll expand off of that and morph from where it is at the current point and take it to where I want the direction to go.
Gotcha. Danielle, bring those 2 paintings of Jason, please, into the camera. Jason, tell us that story. The story is remarkable. How you've created 2 pieces. Oh, here we go. All right, I want everybody to see, because most of you have seen that show on YouTube, and I was doing a public performance in Milan during Milan Expo 2015. So these are 2 pieces that Jason produced. Jason, I've known works of Jason before, but Jason comes to me one day and she says, Alexander, I was so inspired by your performance in Milan, that particular performance live, that, go ahead, Jason.
I was very inspired by the work, and I had actually been almost 4 or 5 years since I had touched any kind of art. And since meeting this great man is when I started to paint again and started believing in myself again. And the performance that I watched in Milan was so breathtaking that I had to capture the emotions that I felt during the performance. And that's how both of these paintings came to life.